Hey Rob, this is Brian, and I'm gonna walk through the how to configure the modules. Um, in particular, we're looking at this page, and the bottom these bottom modules here are showing up on this page because they're set to show on every single page. The reason the other modules aren't shown here is because they're selectively set to show on certain pages. And when I say a page, I'm really referring to a link, because the modules are associated with links. So with this article, if there's not a link to it, then it's going to be pretty much impossible to tie a module to it unless you set it to show on every link. So let's go into the admin console. I'll show you a little more of what I'm talking about. So right now I'm at the Facebook like button, and this module is set to show on selected menu items. And these menu items, of course, link to pages, and they can link to an article, they can link to categories, a categories page, and the blog, the products category page. But right now, since it's not set to all, we're not seeing it on this page. If I set it to all, hit apply, clear my cache, refresh this page, there it is. Okay, so it's one of the strange things about Joomla is unless you have a link to the article, it's really hard to associate a module with that article or page or link. I guess there are several ways to describe it, but I'll show you a way around it. So we're going to deselect landing page because we don't want it to show there. So if we go to, let's go take a look at that article, and it's this one here, and it's under Joomla CMS, and we have a Blu-ray menu. So I think this might be something you created, but let's just use it, and I'm going to create a menu item and link directly to this article. I'm just going to call it test for the sake of this tutorial, and this is the one. And I'll save it. Okay, so now I've created a link to this article, and I can go back to the module manager, back into our button, and now you can see the test menu item is shown up. Hit save. I'll refresh my cache. Now this isn't the page. We have to find a way to the test article, which is right here. So the URL, I just typed in test HTML. This is the article that you created, and I just created a link to it, and then I went into the module for Facebook and I tied it to the link to this page, to this article. It's So that's one thing you can do. If you have a bunch of articles that aren't part of a category that you're going to link to, or you're not going to link directly to that article in any of these menu items, then this is what you can do. Is you just create a menu link to that article with the menu item, and in the module manager you find the module you want to show on that page, and you tie it to the link to this article. And that's it. You don't have to the menu that I added it to doesn't have to be shown. You know, this Blu-ray menu, it's not being used anywhere as far as I can see. It's not on the site anywhere, so that's fine. That's it. If you, let's see, there was another question you had on modules, and that was just with tying them to, I think I kind of covered it, but if we look at these modules, you can see that they're tied to links to either an article or a category page or a product page or the blog or even the forum. So this is how you control those modules. I sent you a while back the layout that I've defined, and the layout isn't really, it's not like, you know, this structure that's well defined somewhere. It's not a hard definition of something. It's a structure that is built based on really these modules and where they're showing up. Okay, and let me close out of here real quick. And one thing that I'm not sure I showed you, or maybe you figured it out, but one way to sort the modules that's really pretty handy is if you look at the layout diagram that I gave you, and you identify a structural block, and then you can just sort through the modules based on that structural block. So we have one that we're using the left block, and we're using the content right. So if I go into content right, you'll see the video tutorials, the other menu, the front page menu, some other things. And one thing to remember is when you first create a link, like when I went through and I created all these links, by default it enabled all the modules. Okay, so what I had to do is go through all the modules that were shown on the front page and deselect them for the new links that I created. I'll give you a quick example. Video tutorials is one. It was showing up. So since I have it set to a selected menu, when I create a new menu item, it's gonna associate itself with that new menu item. So I had to go in and manually adjust every one of these modules so that it wouldn't show on the new menu items. And let's see, is there anything else? So this is how you can sort through the menu items, and if there's something again that's showing up where you don't think it should be showing up, just go into that module and look right here. This is where you're going to find where it's going to show, basically. So this module is going to show at community when I hit the community link. That's the only place. And here you can you can select any of these modules just by holding the control key down, selecting, deselecting. That's it. That's how they're controlled. That's how we control the layout of all the pages, really. So hope that helps. Hope it answers a lot of questions for you. If not, just shoot me an email. All right, thanks.